So what we're going to do today is we are going to fly from 62 Golf Alpha to KOPN. We'll get some gas down there, and while we're down there I'm going to go ahead and load in the procedure. So what we're going to do is we're going to try out the autopilot again, and this is a STEC 55 autopilot. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to load the approach. We're just going to shoot the RNAV 30 approach, and we'll shoot it from Hutzer. So we'll shoot from Hutzer, add the route. All right, so we've got our approach loaded into our ForeFlight, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on our synthetic vision and get this thing ready to rock along. And then we'll load the, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just, tell you what, we'll go direct KOPN. And then I'll load the approach in there after we get going. We'll do a quick run up here. So both of our engines are in the yellow over there, almost, well, they're pretty much in the green. Go ahead and run up to 1500 RPM. Check our mags. Oil pressure and fuel pressure is good. We'll do the prop, and then we'll do the electric feathering. Do the prop one more time to make sure it switches back over to the main valve. Our battery is good. Generator is working on the left engine. Vacuum pump is working. 29.
Engine out, runway 21.
Go ahead and open up our, and Seven Lakes traffic, Twin Beech, departing runway 18, Seven Lakes. The fuel pumps are on, flaps are up, doors locked, controls free and clear. Tail wheel is locked. what we're going to do, my transponder just quit again. Wonder what's going on with that. Well, let's go into the avionics shop here the next week, so I guess we'll get that done then. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to climb up to 3,000 feet, and we're going to go ahead, I'm going to get the fuel pumps off, go up to 3,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and load the approach, so we're going to go ahead over here to procedure, we're going to go to approach, KOPN, approach is RNAV GPS, vectors. Actually, we're going to go ahead and go in through Hutzer, and then we're going to load and activate the approach. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get up to 3,000 feet, and then we're going to use the autopilot to shoot this approach. Go ahead and switch over to Thomaston. And I'm going to go ahead and hit nav and have it follow the course. And then when we're at 3,000 feet, we're going to hit altitude to hold the altitude.
10 northeast, 1,700.
And then we're going to go ahead and pull it back to...
Inbound VR Alpha, we will be landing.
Wow. Pretty steep attempt to get altitude there. Now this is interesting. We'll see what happens here. So it's trimming it, but I don't know why it's gone crazy on the trim. But this is a good, and it's trimming way past where it ought to be. I've had it do this one time before, and it's good that it's videotaping it because I get my avionics guy to take a look at it. So it seems like it's still not settling in because it's still going up and down. I mean, it's staying within what it's supposed to, but it's gone kind of wacky. My transponder's back to working again. Alright, so right now we are about 200 degrees, and I'm going to turn this off and just set this to 200 degrees because
Berry Hill 35 Foxtrot, back 1911 to departure.
wow, this thing is doing terrible today. The heck is it doing with the trim? Good Lord. It's gonna crash us. Let's take it off of altitude. Actually, I want to cancel it for a second. Get this thing trimmed up again. On my own. We got it all trimmed up, everything is good, so I'm going to hit nav.
And Jackson County,
altitude.
26 Echo Victor is 4.5 miles to the east. We'll be entering a left downwind for
holy cow.
Jackson.
What the heck is this thing doing? so we'll just shoot the approach without the damn autopilot. I don't know what the hell is going on with my autopilot, other than it's trying to kill me. Alright, so we're going to be flying to Hutzer. We got to maintain 3,000 feet. So, as you can see, everything's trimmed up. It's flying pretty much by itself, so I'm not forcing it to do anything. We've got about 25 inches, 1900 RPM.
Thompson traffic, Falco 703 Lima, 10 miles to the northwest. We'll be entering a left base for runway 12 Thompson.
Cochrane traffic, midnight 29, on downwind runway 11, Cochrane traffic.
And Thomason traffic, Twin Beech is 2 miles from Hutzer, and we'll be shooting the RNAV 30 approach into Thomason. So everything is trimmed up.
Is that a full stop for Thomason, or are you guys breaking off that approach?
It will be, but we're going to fly the procedure turn outbound, so it will be a bit.
Okay, sounds good.
You guys landing 12?
Yeah, the winds were 16, I think, at 4, so I was figuring might as well.
Yeah, all right. So at the moment, we're climbing just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of push forward on it and then work our trim to get it to quit climbing. But it's, you know, just a little bit on the trim. It's not, doesn't take much.
5 knot traffic, Twin Star 799 Delta Charlie is 4 miles northeast of North Key.
Alright, so we're at Hutzer. So now our next waypoint is Sinfo. So we're going to fly into Sinfo, and then we're going to be making a left-hand turn out to 121 degrees. So I'm at 3,000 feet, so I've got my altitude where I want it. We're on course. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set our bug over here to 120 degrees. And that's where we're going to be turning in just a moment. We're also going to check, make sure our compass and our DG are still matching up. So we're about 200 degrees, and this thing's already moved a little bit. This is the reason that it's going in the shop.
Final runway 11, Cochrane traffic.
All right, we're still at 3,000 feet. There's no traffic around us. All right, and our 750 in a moment is going to start telling us when to turn, when to start this procedure turn. So it's telling us to hold parallel. So we're going to be entering the pattern. So now it says to turn to left 78 degrees in 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we're going to start a standard rate turn to the left.
Cochrane traffic, midnight 290 on the go, runway 11, Cochrane traffic.
And we're going to be turning to 78 degrees.
3 Lima's on a 2-mile left base, full stop, runway 12 Thompson.
We're going to hold our altitude.
Calhoun traffic there, 054 Sierra, we're doing IFR maneuver 2,506 miles to the south field.
And Thomason traffic, Twin Beech is Sinfo outbound on the procedure turn, RNAV 30 Thomason. All right, and then we're going to roll out.
Cochrane traffic, midnight 290, left crosswind runway 11, Cochrane
And we're going to
traffic.
fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this for a minute. And then we're going to fly this Alright, so at this point, I'm doing 130 knots, which is a little faster than I want to be doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, push we're going to push the mixtures up. We're going to get the fuel pumps on. We're going to pull this back to about 20 inches. We'll leave it on 1900 RPM, but we're going to get us about 20 inches, which is going to require us to trim it up a little bit to hold everything we got, because we want to get a little bit slower than what we're doing. Oil temps are good, fuel and oil pressures are good. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it to fly without me touching it. So, alright, so now we're going to start our procedure turn back inbound. And so now we're going to be flying 300 degrees. So we're going to get our standard rate turn. And we're going to fly around looking for
223 Charlie Kilo, left downwind, runway 28.
Midnight 90, where are you on the pattern, Cochrane? 290, we're turning left base for runway 11 now. Okay, sir. I'll look for it, we'll be coming in behind you. Roger that. After this lap, we're going to head back to Eastman, so we'll be departing the area to the southeast. Y'all going to do a full stop or a touch? We're just going to do a touch and go, so you should have room. Alrighty, thanks. And I've got you inside as well. Green County traffic RV 994 Romeo is 2 miles to the southwest. Cochrane traffic, midnight 290. On final runway 11, Cochrane traffic.
Alright, and we're a little to the right of course, so we're going to turn out here just a little short so that we can move over a little closer to our localizer. Again, we're holding 3000 until we get to Sinfo, and right now we're outside of Sinfo. So oil pressures are good, fuel pumps are on. No traffic. And again, the trick here is that I want to have everything trimmed so that I'm not having to fly the airplane. The wind's blowing a little bit, so we're going to have to compensate for that. But I'm going to turn just a little bit more so we can go ahead and get this localizer under control. We're almost to Sinfo. We're at 3,000 feet. Almost on the localizer. So what we're looking for right now is you can see our approach toward the localizer on the HSI. 3,000 feet. Alright, so now we are going to start turning in toward the localizer, and we're going to start descending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the power back to about 15 inches. So we're not going to push the nose over to get down. We're going to use the power.
Americas traffic, citation 10 miles north inbound for line 23 Americas.
Because I want to keep the trim, I want to keep the airplane trimmed. looks like we're going to have a little bit of a crosswind from the left. So we're coming down to 2200, and then once we get to 2200, we're going to add the power back to 20 inches because I want to arrest our descent. And then we're going to be waiting until we get to Pumo. So we're 130 miles an hour. Localizer looked pretty good. And Thomas in traffic, Twin Beach is Pumo inbound on the RNAV 30 approach, Thomas.
And you'll follow traffic on the complication.
All right, so now we're at 2,200 feet, so we're going to go ahead and add our power back in. We shouldn't have to change too much else.
Traffic citation 35 miles.
So that's going to get us back to, so we're on our localizer, and at this point we're waiting on Pumo. So got another couple miles to get to, or a mile or so to get to Pumo. So we should start seeing our glide slope coming in, which I'm not seeing on the HSI at all. There it comes. So we're holding 2200. We're getting a little to the left, of course, so we're going to go ahead and straighten that up a little bit. And so the glide slope is starting to come in. We're almost to Pumo. And normally when I get to Pumo, I would put the gear down, but since I'm going to be landing on 1-2, I'm not going to do that. All right, so the glide slope is there. So what we're going to do now, again, is we're going to pull the power back to about 15 inches. And we're going to let it slide down the glide slope, using the power to determine where we're at instead of pushing and pulling on the yoke. So I'm not doing anything on the airplane. I'm letting it fly itself. I've got the bug to correct for the wind. I got the localizer on 30, which is what we're supposed to be.
Short final.
And then you can see that it's sliding at 15 inches. It's sliding right down the glide slope without changing anything else. And Thomas in traffic, Twin Beach is about 2 mile final, 30, and we'll be pulling off to make a 1-2 left downwind. All right, so at 15 inches, 20 inches holds altitude, 15 inches is our glide slope manifold. And at that point, it's just a matter of correcting for the wind, which I use my bug to do that, and then just flying that heading and trying to keep everything together. Now we're coming down to 1,900 feet, so at 1,900 feet, or I'm sorry, 998 feet, but I'm going to go ahead and peel off at this point. So we're going to go ahead and push our props forward a little bit. And Thomas in traffic, Twin Beach is missed approach, and we'll be entering a left downwind runway 12, Thomas.
America's traffic, Bonanza 3227 X-ray is 12 to the north, flying low approach, runway 23, America. Beech, Sky 578 Charlie Alpha is 4.4 to the north. We are at 4,000 feet.
And Thomas in traffic, Twin Beach is left downwind runway 12, Thomas. So we're up at pattern altitude, so we're going to go ahead and pull it back to 20 inches again. Pull the props back to 19. Mixtures are full. Go ahead and get the gear down. Get it trimmed up. And Thomas in traffic, Twin Beach is left base, runway 12, Thomas. Get ahead and notch flaps. $120 on the speed. Got a green light on the gear.
Moultrie Unicom, Gulfstream 622, Sierra Foxtrot. We are 30 miles to the west, inbound to land runway 4 in Moultrie.
Fuel pumps on, flaps down, gear down. Go ahead and get all the flaps. And Thomason traffic, Twin Beach is final, runway 12, Thomason. Pull it back to.
Thank you, ma'am. See you in a minute.
15 inches or so. At this point, we're about 110 miles an hour. Let her keep coming down. All right, flaps are down, fuel pumps are on. All shutters are open, props are full. 100 miles an hour, wind from the right.